The launch of the school's greening program on the 7th December 2013 by President Uhuru Kenyatta was expected to see Kenya increase her tree cover by using the open spaces in schools. The program was also aimed at inculcating the culture of tree growing and management among the youth in order to support social development, wealth creation, and environmental sustainability as envisaged in the Constitution and the Sustainable Development Goals. The activities under the program included water harvesting for tree nursery and woodlots establishment, the establishment of school tree nurseries, establishment of woodlots, energy saving, tree nursery and woodlots protection, and capacity building in schools. Owing to the fact that these activities needed specialized knowledge, the Kenya Forest Service was appointed as the implementing organization to oversee the program throughout the over 931 primary schools selected from each of the 47 counties in the country. 841 public primary schools were drawn from non-arid and semi-arid lands areas, while 90 came from counties in arid and semi-arid lands counties. While the project took off in earnest in 2014, it hit the headwinds and stalled, and if correspondence between the KFS and the Ministry of Environment is anything to go by, 2 billion shillings risk going down the drain, and with it, the whole school greening program. It has been a tug of war, with letters flying between Karura Forest, the KFS headquarters, and the Ministry of Environment office located at the NHIF building in Nairobi's community area, all of which have yielded zero. In a letter dated the 9th of December 2016, the Kenya Forest Service Chairman, Peter Kenyans, writes to the Environment Cabinet Secretary lamenting that efforts to track implementation status and provide policy oversight have not produced encouraging results since only 50 schools were operationalized in 2014 to 2015, and even those are subject of an audit at the moment. Kenyans further complains that there is nothing to show for the expenditure of over 545 million shillings allocated for the school greening program for the 2016 to 2017 financial year, in which 22 counties were set to be covered. The eastern tree planting season, covering about 22 counties, is coming to a close, yet no disbursement had come to KFS for implementation purposes. A month later, in a letter dated the 11th of January 2017, the Cabinet Secretary, Professor Judy Wahungu, writes back to the KFS Chairman, Peter Kenyans, telling him that since inception of the Green Schools program, the accounting officers, who are the principal secretaries, were expected to release funds to Kenya Forest Service as the implementers of the program. To this end, it seems the Cabinet Secretary is at a loss as to what became of the funds sent to her ministry for forward disbursement to the Kenya Forest Service, who are the implementers of the program. Of grave concern was a letter dated the 30th January 2017 and which was received by the Kenya Forest Service on the 7th of February 2017, written by former Principal Secretary of the State Department of Natural Resources, Dr. Margaret Mwakima, who states that the Ministry of Environment is undertaking the implementation of the Green Schools and Commercial Tree Growing Program. This is in direct contravention to what the Cabinet Secretary, Professor Judy Wahungu, states in her communication to the KFS Chairman, Peter Kenyans, that in fact it is the KFS that is the implementing body of the school greening program. Another sticking point is the awarding of a local purchase order for the supply of tree seedlings sent to Jam Hauling Company Limited by a Miss Sisi Kalunde. But the company, in a letter addressed to the Principal Secretary dated 27th March 2017, demands that the Ministry of Environment cancels the tender as they never bidded for any such tender in the first place. The company directors James Ngengi and Mathe Muigai state in their demand letter that they are a haulage company that deals in transportation and not the supply of tree seedlings. It is a jigsaw puzzle, wrought with twists and turns. It is a matter that the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the DCI, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the EACC, have been purring over for the last several years, that letters began flying between the KFS and its parent ministry, the Ministry of Environment. What Kenyan taxpayers will be waiting for is the end game to this fiasco and an explanation as to what became of the school's greening program as well as the funds allocated for the program. For Channel One News, I'm Judith.